Now you know that you need to come down, hit the ball first, and then take a divot in front of the golf ball. You may have even heard that pros hit down different amounts based on the club. So a pitching wedge hits down more than a middle iron or a long iron, and that hits down more than, say, a 3-wood. Well, that's only halfway true. I'm going to give you one surefire fix to make it super simple to hit down the right amount with every single club, and a drill to ensure that you're hitting down the right amount and knowing how to do this. So no more of those drop kick shots where you hit the divot behind the golf ball, the chunks, the uppercut shots that blade across the green. We're going to get rid of all that in this one video. I'm even going to talk about here how hitting down on it isn't that tough. You probably know how to do this instinctively, but it's the result that you're getting that you don't like. We're going to talk about how the pros hit down on it the right way to get a nice straight ball flight every single time. So let's start out by doing the drill. It's really going to help. We have to have feedback. If you're going to do this right, you need to know if you're doing the correct way. I'm going to take a grip width behind my golf ball that I'm going to hit. So I'm going to hit this golf ball. I'm going to take one grip width behind that. I'm going to put a golf ball there, and I should be able to miss this back golf ball, hit the front golf ball, and then make my divot in front if I'm hitting down the right amount with a wedge. So all your wedges, one grip width behind the ball you're hitting is the right amount to hit down. Now, I shouldn't be hitting giant, huge divots with this, but I'm going to show you the right way to figure out if you're doing this or not. Now, I like to, and this gets to the root cause of the real problem here. Nobody has trouble hitting down. If I said go ahead and make an over-the-top swing and slam this club in the ground, you'd be able to bury that thing in there and you'd have zero problem hitting it down in the golf ball. You could probably take a divot that's this long, right? That's easy. The problem is when I do that, I get this big, atrocious type slicing move. All right, so I swung really hard and I hit that pitching wedge 116 yards on the carry with 80 miles an hour clubhead speed. That's a lot of clubhead speed and not much carry. I'm going to do the same thing here again, same swing speed roughly, 80 miles an hour, but I'm going to do it the right way from the inside and hit a nice straight shot. There we go. So swung a little bit faster at 90 miles an hour, so I'm coming from the inside, but I hit 150 yards, 149 yards carry with my pitching wedge. So we got to get it from the inside. Now, one thing I like to do with this drill to give you that visual representation of that, I put the golf ball behind the ball I'm hitting. I also like to put it about a golf ball inside of the ball that I'm hitting. And I like to swing over top of this back golf ball on the way down if I'm wanting to hit a draw. So the sensation I'm going to swing, as I'm making little practice swings, is that I'm going to come from the inside like this and hit the front golf ball. There we go. And probably overdid the draw on that one. You really see that turning over 161 yards on that one, so pretty daggone good. Now, nothing beats putting a physical object in the way so that you just can't swing over the top. So one thing I like to do, the launch monitor probably won't read this golf ball this time, but I like to put an impact bag in the way. So like that. So now, and I'm going to put it about a club grip width behind it. So now with this impact bag in the way, if I start to take it back outside, chop down on the outside like I said before, everybody can easily hit down on it if they're coming from the outside. I've now got this in the way to feel like I'm going more from the inside. Now from here, a couple key body positions. It's going to be impossible to swing from the inside if your hips are back here and my nose is in front of my belt buckle. I need to feel like my weight gets a little bit more to my lead side. So basically I'm going to set up nice and neutral, straight up and down. I'm going to hinge forward in my posture. My nose should be over my belt buckle here. I'm going to shift my weight to the left until my belt buckle gets in front of the golf ball. And then I'm going to go ahead and tilt my nose back until my weight feels about 50-50 now. And I'm tilted in a way that allows me to swing from the inside. So long story short, if you're going to hit from the inside, if you're going to shallow the club out, if you're going to hit it nice and square, your belt buckle goes a little forward as your head goes back. You're keeping your weight 50-50 as that's happening. And now I'm slotted to the inside where I have room to swing over this back golf ball. So I'm going to go ahead and exaggerate one here and really hit a nice big draw. And hit that pretty daggone good. Now, one thing you want to do here, as I start to swing more from the inside, this is the whole dilemma that we're getting at. As I start to swing more from the inside, it makes my low point want to be farther behind the golf ball. So I'll show you what I mean by this. If I start to swing way out to the right, so I'm swinging that way, I can do that easily if my divot is back here by my back foot. Let's get that bag out of the way for a second. I can do that very easily if my divot is way back here. If I'm hitting the ground way behind what would be a normal setup position for a golf ball. If I swing way over the top, I can make a divot easily on this side of my foot. It would be very difficult to make one here because my body would be in the way. It'd be very difficult to get a divot up here because my arms can't even reach if I'm leaning the opposite direction. So when you swing more out to the right or from the inside, it pulls your divot back. When you swing more over the top, it pulls your divot forward. So anybody can get a forward divot with an over the top move. It's that inside move that's tougher. Here's what I want you to do to finally get that divot in front with the inside move. Now we've already got the golf ball there to give us the right amount of feedback. The golf ball from the inside. Now I want you to go ahead, get that impact bag back, or just put anything, a range bucket, whatever you want in the way, so that you have to come a little bit from the inside. And then from there, what I'm going to do is widen my stance a little bit, and I'm going to feel like on my downswing, I swing from the inside here, but I'm getting my weight more into this lead foot. I'm feeling like I'm getting that divot a good 5 or 6 inches, or I'm visualizing if I want to move this golf ball out of the way, I want to miss this bag, but get that divot up here in front of the golf ball. I want to feel like I'm getting weight over this lead side, my knees kind of turned out, and I'm feeling like I'm hitting here and extending my arms all the way through the shot. That's going to allow me to get that divot in front, but still be a draw. Now once I get the feeling for that, I can go ahead and put this golf ball back here again. I'm going to get that same feeling of that divot in front, but still going out to the right, and that's going to allow me to swing from the inside with a draw. There we go. So I exaggerated there. I started out to the right. You can see the tracer at the bottom, the black line. That ball is turning back. I overdid it there. That's exactly what I want you to do. Get that ball starting too far to the right, draw it back. If you feel like it's not drawing enough, just release the club a little bit more. Let the hands turn on over a little bit more, and that ball will come back. One little thing that most players don't know, when you look at slow motion of PGA Tour players, when they release the club, when their club is about almost waist high in the follow through, so the club head is almost back up to the waist, you're going to see this leading edge of the club actually square, perpendicular to the ground like this, or even a little bit turning over like that. If I look at most recreational players, they're trying to hold the face square, and when they get to that point, the face is open like this. So go ahead and let that club come from the inside, but you got to let that face release. Here we go. There we go, divot in front, nice draw. You're not going to get it to move too much with the pitching wedge. That's quite a bit of draw with a pitching wedge. 154 carry distance, pretty daggone happy with that. Now, I mentioned earlier how you don't really vary the hitting down very much as you switch to clubs, and mostly that's true. If I take this setup again, I'm going to get it the same way we've been doing, a ball 1 club head width behind. I'm going to grab 2 extra balls for long irons and woods. If I look at my ball position with my wedges, basically going to be center of my stance. I'm going to scoot back here a little bit so I'm in line with the camera. This will be easier to see. So my ball position is basically going to be center of my stance there. Now as I go into a middle iron, it's going to be slightly in front of that. And a 3-wood is going to be slightly in front of that. So if you think about it, I'm hitting down, and imagine the swing is like an arc. So as my club head moves down, it's going down the arc, it levels out up here, and then it starts to come back up. So if I put my ball position farther forward, my low point of the arc is at the bottom of the divot. If my bottom of my divot is going to be about 4 inches in front of the golf ball I'm hitting. So wedge, long iron, 3-wood, you can see how when I put that there, I'd be hitting down more on a wedge, less on a long iron, and even less than that on a 3-wood, but it's all ball position. So if I go ahead and set up my 3-wood stance, that's about where I'd play my 3-wood, a little bit up in my stance. If I take my wedge now, it's going to be more in the middle of my stance. So all you have to do is change how much you play it in front of this back ball. A wedge, or any of your wedges, the back ball goes a grip width behind the ball you're hitting. For the rest of the clubs, 3 woods are going to be about another half of a grip width more than that. So a grip width and a half is where you put the back ball. Long irons is a grip width and a quarter, and wedges is just 1 grip width. So you're just adjusting how far you're putting that ball behind it to see the angle of attack change a little bit. And again, you're not making different swings, you're just adjusting the ball position slightly. So the 3-wood ball position is about this much in forward of where a wedge ball position would be. So that's going to solve all those issues with not really knowing how to, hit down the right amount depending on the club. Now, this gets a lot easier when you have the right hand position. Let's get rid of these balls for a second and just have the one ball with a wedge. Now, when I have my hands low, down by my knees here, that's going to naturally allow me to get my hands low and in front and have the shaft or the handle leaning in front. That's going to help me to hit down and through this golf shot. It's going to help me to really compress this as I'm getting onto that lead side and coming from the inside out. Now, if I'm casting the club, what's happening is I'm standing up, my hands get farther away from the golf ball, and I have to throw the club to be able to reach it. Now, it's going to do 2 things. A lot of times as you throw it, you'd be hitting this back golf ball, and number 2, you wouldn't be able to get that divot in front of the golf ball with all the different clubs. You'd be having the bottom of your divot under the golf ball, so you basically have to pick this ball clean. Well, if you're doing that, it is virtually impossible to hit the ball off tight lies. You have to have it almost sitting up perfect to hit solid shots. With the hands down, it makes it so much easier to get the ball, coming off crisp against the face with the hands in front, because you can really pinch it against the turf. Now I'm going to play a preview of one of my best drills. I call it the knuckle dragger drill. All you have to do to see the full video is click the link up in the card in the description, click the link in the description or click one of the cards. It's going to take you and give you instant access to that video. I'll play a preview of that here in 1 second. I can't wait to show you the knuckle dragger and make what we just talked about that much easier. Let's go and get started. I got an awesome video for you. This one is what I call knuckle dragger. And this is one of the best ones, one of the big missing pieces to players that are struggling to get more lag. Now, let's talk about when you lose lag, what's happening. A lot of times what's happening is as you make your downswing, if we're looking from this down the line view, what happens is my hips go toward the golf ball, they start to slide forward. My chest moves back away from this golf ball, so I'm getting farther away from the golf ball, and then all of a sudden I cast, I flip, and I don't have a lot of lag there. Well, look how far my hands are away from the ground. Also notice when I get my hands closer to the ground, so as my hands get lower, then what happens is they also go forward more. So as I want to have more lag, when you feel like your knuckles are dragging the ground, then that club is naturally going to lag back behind, and then you're going to release that out in front. When your hands are far away from the ground, well, if I had all that lag, where would I be swinging? I'd be swinging a foot over top of the golf ball. So you have to kind of flip, release that lag early to just make contact with the golf ball at all. So having those knuckles feeling like they're scraping the ground is really going to be a big key. Now, another piece to this, again, when I talked about losing that posture, your hips go forward. You're going to want to feel like, as those hands scrape the ground, your knuckles drag the ground.